Today's show is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm talking about the top-rated sportsbooking app in all of North America. Baby, we saying they safe, secure, and my personal favorite, reliable, baby. And some of the fun that you can, participate in with DraftKings are same game parlays, man. When you're looking at a matchup and you're like, you know what? I think I want to tap in with that. I like the over on this, but I like the points to hit with that. Well, guess what? Baby, DraftKings gives you all of that flexibility right there. Not only same game parlays, but you also got player prop bets as well. Like I said, a lot of versatility for you in terms of how you would like to indulge. But more importantly, with anything that we do, we got a promo code for you, baby. Yeah, it's simple. For the new customers out there, you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use the promo code Moats. It is that simple for all my new users out there, all right? Download the app, make your bet, put your promo code in there, and get what you're supposed to receive, baby. But I also understand that at times you might develop a gambling problem. It happens. If you're in New York, there's a number that you could text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. So did want to talk a little bit about these college QBs though, man, because we are getting more and more information, right? The more the season goes on, the larger the sample size, the more we are able to form more responsible, this is the way I would like to frame it, more responsible perceptions of these players. Instead of it just being guys being praised because of their names, we actually get a chance to watch these games and see who looks good, who doesn't look good, who has, at least responded well to adversity, and who's in the heart of it that we're waiting to see. Can they respond to that adversity? Those are all the things that, to me, I've been excited about the most, watching these quarterbacks on a week-to-week basis and just overall, their development. The quarterback that I obviously had the best showing this weekend, no surprise, shout out to the matchup. My man, Cade Klubnik, man, he was over there cooking UNC, man. Belichick is in a weird situation down there at UNC, all right? Shout out to UNC for paying him all that money, but yeah, they cheeks, they bad. It's like bad. Because Clemson bad, all right? I know Clemson's bad. I've watched Clemson more than enough this year to know that they on the struggle bus, okay? And I've watched Clemson enough this year to know that Cade Klubnik is good, but not high, not crazy, just elite, blow it out the water, top 5 to me. But the way that he was looking for his UNC, you like, hey, bro, all right now. Is everybody like this for his UNC? Because right now I'm questioning, hey, man, Belichick, who are the coaches on your staff? All right. I know that this was been like an NFL staff. I know that, they paid you a lot of money. They paid people a lot of money, but it's like, bro, it should not be looking like this. Shout out to Cade, though. Cade, if no lie, if Clemson had UNC earlier on their schedule, man, our perception around Clemson would be feeling a lot different right now, all right? But yeah, I'm like, Cade, you ain't look like this all season, man. All right. None of Clemson is like this all season. And that's why I do feel like this is more of a reflection on UNC than necessarily a big boost for Clemson and Cade. That's just my perception on it. Maybe a Clemson fan feels differently. Maybe it's some Cade people like, nah, man, this is who Cade really is. This is where I feel confident in him. But I just seeing him in some of them other games and then seeing him in this game, this seemed more like an outlier to me, man. All right. But nonetheless, we will see, man. I don't know what the answer is for UNC though right now, because they got a whole lot of money tied up with my man, my man Belichick and him and his girlfriend. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. I'm like, yo, if you're an NFL team, you don't want Belichick right now. Why would you? Like, bro, you could pay for people down there the same way we got free agency up here. And it's like, bro, y'all suck. Like, and it's not even like a decent suck. It's like a bad suck. So yeah, man, shout out to UNC. All right. But shout out to Cade Klubnik, man. Take care of business. All right. You look good. Next up on the list. Oh, child. If it isn't his namesake, the one and only Arch Manning. Shout out, man. You know, I can't wait to talk to Tanisha tomorrow. You know, she big Texas fan, big Colorado fan. Colorado, we ain't worried about their quarterbacks just yet. They playing quarterback roulette. But Texas, we're going to ask her. I got to talk to her. I got to talk to her. Because I caught some of this, specifically the second half of this. And I'm watching Arch, and I'm like, all right, okay, all right, decent. Why would you throw that? And I feel like I'm having too much of that. There's way too many of those decent. Why'd you do that one? Why'd you make that one? You thought that was the right one? It's like, bro, this double coverage you throwing this thing into, and it's like a lollipop. You know what I mean? You ain't even like ripping it with confidence. Like, yo, I need more confidence right now as I look at them. And, you know, statistically, it's like, man, if we could take out the interceptions, sure. 16 and 29 for 263 and two tutties. You throw in this 15 carries, 37 yards. You're like, yo, he had a 36-yarder. That's decent. The 2 picks matter, though. When you watch the flow and you watch some of these misses, they matter. And I just feel like, man, if we're able to say that we were fooled by anybody early on, oh, boy. They fooled us with Arch a little bit, man. All right, because the way that they talked about Arch before versus, you know, watching them now, I'm like, hey, man, don't hit us with no more. These are generational players. These are generational talents. Don't hit us anymore with, you know, hey, this is a must. You gotta have this guy, man. Take him in the first round. Like, I'm cool on all of that for right now, man, because yeah, I just don't see it. I know I should. I know I should be like, yo, he's a Manning and all these other things, man. But to me, I'm just like, I don't know. The decision making isn't the best. He don't look the most confident out there. He be missing the little routine throws. I'm like, sometimes I feel like his best attribute is when he takes off. And I'm just like, yo, he ain't even like crazy with the running. He ain't good enough with the running, but I'm like, hey, bro, the way that was argued, the way that he was talked about, I just feel like I've been lied to. I just feel like I've been hoodwinked. Okay. I feel like they told me one thing and they sold me a dream, bro. They sold me a dream. And y'all heard how I was over here talking about my man Arch Manning. I'm like, yeah, they told us it's a deep quarterback class. So you know what? Every single week, we're coming right here and we're going to talk about these players. And then I get to look at it. I'm just like, man, Archie. Oh, Arch, baby. You got time. But I think the real thing is this, to put a bow on it, it just takes time, right? For some quarterbacks, man, in 1 year, they adjust, they get acclimated, and they're good to go. Some dudes, it takes a little bit longer. I do see the talent that Arch has, but talent alone is not high-level quarterback play. Talent alone isn't going to make you a great player, let alone get you to the NFL. You have to understand the nuance of it. All of the little details matter. And to me, it's just like, he's still a little bit behind, at least a year from my perspective. And that's, to be fair to Arch. Because I feel like, man, if we just keep this whole, man, he compared to the guys this year's like, hey, bro, I don't see that one, man. I truly don't see that one. But don't get me in trouble, Sean, man. I already know he's generational. I'm for sure a hater. I already know, Sean. I know, okay? I'm with you. But yeah, bro, he threw me off a little bit, all right? Shout out also to my man Drew Aller. All right, y'all see his picture up here. I'm not feeling how everybody's feeling. All right. I know some people are ready to crucify him because they did go out to LA and take a whooping. All right. UCLA took the belt off. Bop, bop, bop. Let me get the switch. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah. They for sure did Penn State dirty, man. And Penn State, they did, you know, they fought hard. They fought right. I thought Drew was decent, though. Could he have been better? Yes. But I thought he was legitimately decent in this game. I thought that Penn State just as a whole just looked, I didn't want to say lethargic. I felt like it was like Typical Penn State offense, though. Boring, basic, and they didn't really lean on Drew and allow Drew to. Because the other side is this. It's like, man, I want to say, yeah, let him really be in control of the offense. But then it's times where he'll be out there and I'm like, hold on, bro. You doing too much too. You need to still dial that back some. And I know y'all looked and saw some of the same, decision making stuff. And I think that that's more so when I look at Drew, I'm like, you just do some questionable things that if you're my quarterback, I don't think you can do this. But this is what we're talking about. Like when we look at Rodgers and we say, man, Rodgers can make every throw. Yes. But Rodgers also understands clock management. He also understands the tempo. He understands when to take the day going simple check down, right? Every throw doesn't have to be down the grass. Every throw doesn't have to be, let me show you how talented I am. Sometimes it's, take the layup, right? Take the layup, bro. And I just feel like for Drew, I don't know if he all the way grasped that. And then it's times where I'm like, okay, be aggressive here. And it's like, why'd you do that one? Why'd you throw that one? Like, what were you thinking to make you say this is the one I wanted to go with? So I'm torn on him, man. I'm torn because I feel like I should be more Drew, right? I should be, man, you guys compete. You guys tough. But it's like, I watched you in the Oregon game. Wasn't really impressed. I want you versus UCLA. And it's like, you're not necessarily the reason why y'all lost. But if I'm talking about taking you in the first round, I want you to look like a force multiplier. At least lie to me at the collegiate level like you're a force multiplier. And he just looks more like a part of it versus being a true force multiplier. Heck, I think their running backs are more guys than he is right now. And that's the unfortunate thing because I was actually kind of higher on Drew. But I don't know. I do not know, man. The more this season is going along, the more I'm just kind of like, bro, we might be off of first round quarterbacks. Unless it's Lenore Sellers. And even with Lenore, it's like, okay, will he be able to continue his development, his maturation, and the decision making? Because that's one of the toughest things. The talent is one part, but the decision making is just as important, is just as critical, man. And when you make bad decisions at that position, it gets you beat. You can't be a bad decision maker at quarterback. Can't, and especially at the NFL level, you cannot do it. You matter too much. You touch the ball every single time, man. So those are some of the things that I legitimately have questions with. But oddly enough, the one dude that I still continue to feel the best about, who still continues to grow on me, who still continues to make me feel a sense of confidence that, hey, if I was going to take a guy, I like to get him in the system. I don't love him, but I like to get him in the system. You already know it's Carson Beck, bro. Because I'm like, all right, Lenore Sellers, man, I think he's all world in terms of the talent. I love a lot of what he brings. But at the same time, I still have some questions. And I think that, based on his skill set and all the variables, that's going to be one of them top 5-ish type of conversations because of the frame, the arm, the legs, the size on him. But when I look at Carson Beck, not as sexy, right? Older, but I look at the decision making. I look at the leadership. I look at the winning part of it, right? Because we say, man, wins aren't just a quarterback stat. No, but to act as if wins don't matter based on quarterbacks and to act like quarterback play doesn't largely impact wins and losses, I think that would also be, incorrect thought process. But you watch him. This dude this season, man, has Miami looking tough. Now, is Miami going to win the national championship? I'm not saying that. Heck, if anything, I'd like Oregon right now, man. Oregon looks tough. They got a tough one versus Indiana, and that's what we're going to find out about Mendoza. All right, because I know y'all say, what about Indiana? Hey, don't you worry. Hey, we're going to find out about Indiana this weekend, baby. We're going to find out. Quarterback included, we're going to find out. But to me, man, Carson Beck, every time I've watched him this season, doesn't matter how large their lead is or how tight the game is, he still looks cool, calm, collected. Doesn't matter where the game is located. We know this was one of their first ones where they weren't at the crib. Now, granted, you're still in Florida, but you weren't at the crib. And it's like you still just watch how he responds. I think his ability to throw the football, man, I think his ability to maneuver in the pocket, I think all of those things highlight his ability. And like I said, his decision making. all of those things are positives to me. And that's one of the things that stands out to me the more and more I watch Carson Beck. I think all of those things that he's doing, I don't think he has more talent than those other guys that I've named. I think some of those dudes are extremely talented, but in terms of playing quarterback, none of those dudes to me are playing better than Carson Beck right now. I think Carson Beck is playing just high level quarterback. And I think that that's one of the toughest things when we're evaluating players or when we're talking about guys taking that jump from the collegiate ranks to the professional ranks, dudes that we view as high level talents versus guys that we say are just dang good players. And to me, Carson Beck is he's a dang good football player quarterback, right? But is he as talented as Lenore Sellers? Nah. Is he as talented as Arch Manning? To me, Arch is like very talented, right? But is Arch playing better than Carson Beck? Absolutely not. But that's the conversation at times. And because of Beck being on the older side, right? Not super old, but we're just saying, he's not a super baby out here either. You know what I mean? He didn't spend this time in the collegiate ranks. Okay. This thing for me, man, you feel a little bit safer with that, getting that here, man. Maybe it's a Mason Rudolph, right? Maybe that's all it is, man. A high-end backup that you feel good with in some certain situations, man, can get you out of stadiums and maybe compete to be a starter. Maybe that's what it is. But to me, man, I think that he, at least to this stage of the season, has shown the most consistency or the most promise. Reason to have a little optimism. All right. So shout out to my man Carson Beck. But like I said, man, those the quarterbacks right now, man, ain't as let's see, what's the word? It's not as promising as it was first communicated to us. And the reason I say us is because I didn't come in here and say, hey guys, it's a generational draft class. No. I was communicating that too. They was telling me that too. Okay. I was hearing the same thing I was hearing. Okay. And I just said, okay, instead of us just sitting back and believing and trusting, it's like, you know what? Let's just do our own research. Let's just, let's look into this ourselves and see what we can acquire, see what information we can find. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't like what I'm finding out right now. I thought we should be getting better information on quarterbacks. It was a rough weekend for them quarterbacks. It was a rough weekend for quarterbacks in general, man. Y'all see what happened to Mark Sanchez out here. All right, it's rough out here. So yeah, quarterbacks. Quarterbacks credit is not the best right now. All right, it's not the best. But I ain't gonna lie though, man. Carson Beck is growing on me. I was not a big Carson Beck fan towards the end of his time at Georgia. But the more I see him now away from Georgia, the more I'm becoming back a fan of him, because it's no longer you're driving the Bugatti, man. Everybody could look good. You're not Stetson. You're not Stetson Bennett. So I don't want to hear that. No, it's like, hey, bro, you down there at the U, of lately, we don't view them as this just God tier powerhouse. Cam Ward had him turn a direction. But it's like, man, you watch Beck and you're like, hey, bro, I that got Miami high right now, man. What do you say? Do you is on fire? I'm over here like, all right, bro, take a little use up, man. So we'll see, man. But definitely excited though to watch my man over in I'm gonna get about the butcher his name, Mendoza though. Like I said, man, because later on, that's who they got, man. That's the 5-star this weekend for Fernando Mendoza in the number 7 Indiana, traveling to number 3 Oregon. Okay, we gonna learn what we need to learn about Mendoza. We're gonna see if he's like that or if he's not like that. All right, because Oregon's gonna come at him. Oregon has a team that can score. Oregon is not gonna just let them off the hook. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to watch that one. Arch Manning, he got a tough one coming up too, though, man. With them taking on number 6 Oklahoma. Still no John Matier. Y'all know that was a personal, like, after Lenore Sellers, it was like, oh yeah, give me Baker. All right, John Matier is Baker. Like, I'm gonna keep calling him that. I wanted that one, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see what that looks like if it comes back this season. We know he had the surgery on his hand. Other matchup that should be cool to watch. Where are we? Oh my goodness, I thought I just. Oh no, I already said it. Shoot, I'm tripping on that one, man. Because it's you got the Texas, Oklahoma. I was like, yo, who am I missing on it? Yeah, Texas and Oklahoma. So shout out to them boys over there, man. And then LSU, that's the other one. Garrett Musmeyer, excuse me. Number 11 LSU versus South Carolina, Lenore Sellers. All right, so I do like that one as well. I think that'll be an interesting one. Yeah, I know I've definitely cooled on my man Garrett, but let's see, man. You can definitely get my attention, man. You go out there and do what you're supposed to do when you dueling it out versus Lenore's, because I know Lenore's gonna show up. I know Lenore's is ready. All right, but those the ones where I'm just like, all right, let's see. I like that. I like when I get some of these head-to-head matchups, man. I was really hopeful of Archman and John Mates here, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But nonetheless, though, man, definitely gonna be some good ones, man. I feel you, bitch. I feel you, Noriega. You already know. My man say, yo, Nussmeyer and Klubnik. All right, they both suck. I dig it. Trust me, I dig it, man. It sounds when I'm watching the Nussmeyer, I'm just like, I don't like that one. I ain't feeling that one. But we shall see, though. All right, we shall see. But you already know the drill, man. If y'all enjoying what we are on today and this conversation surrounding these quarterback prospects, man, for next year's draft class potentially, y'all know the drill. Hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel.